Sweyne Park's an 11 to 16 large mixed comprehensive school with community status in Rayleigh in Essex. I think PSHE plays an absolutely pivotal role at Sweyne Park in terms of securing our overall objectives and aims. Our mission statement is quite simple. It's securing people's success within a culture based squarely on respect. Respect for yourself, respect for each other, respect for the environment. And PSHE just underpins everything that we do.
OK, we have an image on the board. Just like you to have a look at that image for a few seconds and then give me some thoughts, give me some feedbacks, something about that image that interests you. One of the first things I did was to show them an image, and on that image really it was up to them to decide what was on there, but I'd got lots of pills, vitamins, etc, so they could just look at this slide and then decide for themselves, would these be perhaps illegal drugs, would they be legal drugs, would there be something that you would have to give you a vitamin boost on any school day. Yes, Alice?
Are they for good or bad?
Are they for good or bad? Can you expand that a little bit more?
Are they for medicine or are they just for social purposes?
Lovely. Are they for medicine? Are they social? Yes, Susie?
What age group should be taking them?
What do you mean by that? Can you expand a little bit more, please?
Because some medicines are for younger children and others for older children, over a certain age.
What I try and do is involve them as much as possible. So I need to know what's their prior knowledge, what do they already know, what they bring into the classroom, what are their experiences. And what I really want to do then is to arouse their curiosity and where do they want us to take it. Instead of teaching the content from PSHE, we're looking at the skills. These can be transferable into other subject areas, and I think our subject lends itself to developing those and giving the kids confidence to then go and use them in other subject areas.
I think one of the things that it's easy to do is to separate academic achievement from the Every Child Matters outcomes, and I think that's a real shame because I think the two are intertwined and mutually support each other. So we feel that as a result of our PSHE lessons, our pupils are more confident, they're more successful, they're able to deal with new situations, they have got the skills to deal with situations that arise in lessons that might prevent them learning, they take risks, they're better at self-motivating, they can express themselves better, they're just more confident.
Many different ways to identify how people are on drugs, but I'd like to learn about how it affects the human body.
The national curriculum gives us a baseline to work from within PSHE. However, we've got to alter that and interpret it for our own local area because no two areas are exactly the same. So we do take information from the local PCT, we get information from the police, we look in the local newspapers to see what the local stories are, the local issues, but more importantly I think we actually find out from the pupils and find out what their perception is and what they require for us to move on.
You can write on the post-it something you know about the drugs. We've looked at the text.
PSHE is absolutely crucial in promoting community cohesion, and that starts absolutely in the classroom in PSHE lessons. Because I think the important thing is that day in, day out, when they're in the classroom, the pupils are aware of themselves, aware of their own views, their own rights and responsibilities, but also the protocols and the ways of getting their views across, and equally aware of the views of other people. And sometimes they're different, sometimes they don't agree, but whatever, we should be promoting tolerance, cooperation and mutual understanding. I think one thing just to be aware of, though, is this tension between having rigorous assessment criteria to track progression, as you do for all subjects in the curriculum, against the fact that in PSHE particularly there is that exciting possibility of exploring things that crop up ad hoc in lessons, things that might be really important to an individual pupil and absolutely worthy of debate within the class, but departing from the scheme of work or the key objectives. And I think how you design those assessment criteria is absolutely critical, so you can still keep a sense of the progression and value the skills, knowledge and understanding that you're pushing, but equally having that flexibility to respond to those key issues that make such a difference to our young people.
Using the Diamond 9 activity allowed me to get some feedback from the pupils, for them to reflect on what they already knew, what they wanted to find out, and also to look at if they wanted to take it a little bit further, where would they get that information from?
I wouldn't tell the police straight away because they're your friends. Yeah. I'd tell their parents would be like the second one in case they don't know.
Yeah, that one. Try to help.
I think
One of the interesting things of today's lesson was actually using peer assessment. So we have the groups, they've agreed their diamond 9, but then we had 2 to stay and justify, while 2 others are coming over, and they're actually doing an assessment of their decision making, if you like, and where they are. So between them, they're collaborating, and then they're forming the next steps and where they need to be. Assessment is something that we're looking to develop. What we try and focus with is the assessment for learning for individuals. And again, from today's lesson, looking at what do they already know, what do they need to know, what do they want to know next. What do you think that you've learnt today, and what do you still need to know? It is important to remember, whatever discussion you're having with the pupils, that they have a solid knowledge base behind that. So linking on from today's lesson, they raise certain questions. What I would do is then invite them to go and investigate it, then come back and present their research to either that group or another group.
Subjects like drugs and alcohol do scare me, and if it came to a situation where I was in that position, if my friend was taking drugs, then I probably wouldn't know how to react, but it helps me doing these kind of subjects to help me learn how to react and how to take the issue and how to help my friends if they were doing it.
I think it's important because it's like you learn social skills and things about other people, other people's opinions, which matter in life, because you've got to listen to other things. It's just not about you.
At Sweyne Park, we teach PSHE in discrete lessons, and we think that's one of the real strengths of our curriculum. And we feel that for several reasons. Firstly, it enables you to get genuine progression week in, week out, rather than having a one-off blitz on it and then leaving it for a number of weeks or a number of months. We think progression comes from regular exposure to some of the ideas, the concepts, the styles of teaching. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, by having a discrete lesson, we've created a discrete PSHE team who have expertise, who are very well trained, are at the cutting edge of all the latest ideas and pedagogy surrounding PSHE, and as a result, the quality of lessons is that much better. As a result of the quality of lessons, we think that PSHE is supporting the Every Child Matters agenda far more effectively, and crucially, pupils are transferring the skills, knowledge and understanding from PSHE into other subject areas, other academic areas of the curriculum, and I think that's a real benefit.